What's up, Steelers fans? Little flashback to week 2 of the 2023 NFL season when Kenny Pickett hooked up with George Pickens for a 71-yard touchdown. Kenny was asked postgame at the podium about the Browns being in cover 2 invert here, and that being something that they had seen in their pregame preparation and something they were expecting to see from the Browns. Pre-snap, they're showing a single high safety in the middle of the field there, so it's either a cover 1 or a cover 3 based on the pre-snap look. The man alignment here suggests man coverage across the board, which would be a cover 1. And if you're going with your pre-snap read here, you'd see George Pickens on the outside. You see the single high safety, and you think, okay, he's going to be in single man coverage. I'm going to have the sideline available to me for one of those back shoulder fades that we love throwing. But they're going to rotate out of that and into a inverted cover 2, which is where they bring that single high safety down into the box, and they're going to drop their 2 cornerbacks back to be the deep zones there. So now what you're going to see is soft coverage on the outside on these outside guys because they're not covering those guys. They're just trying to get depth and play a deep zone there. It's hard, especially when this guy's so close to the line of scrimmage. It's hard to cover a deep half of the field from that alignment. Probably the best aspect of Terrell Edmunds' game is his ability to wear that many different hats and show one thing pre-snap and having the athleticism, especially for a safety, to recover and get into a different position by the time there was a play to be made. So you're going to see just before the snap here, if you look at those outside corners, they're going to start to fade off there. Like I said, they're just trying to gain depth there. So as they're dropping off, they get this soft coverage on the outside. You see, looking at Pickens there, how he's split those 2 guys right there. And actually, this guy he's playing for Warren here for the check down if he gets out to the flat. But number 6 here, the guy who was originally covering Warren, he already knows that the ball's past him. And it's in Pickens' hands. He makes one guy miss, and he's off to the races. Looking at it from the end zone angle, Kenny is going to take a heck of a look at the end of this play, but before that, I want you to see what he's doing with his eyes here. Just a savvy veteran move, using his eyes to control these zone defenders. They're in zone coverage, so they're keying off of his eyes, as opposed to if they were in man coverage, they'd be keying off the receiver's body language. But they're ball hawking, they got their eyes in the backfield, they think they know where this ball's coming to Freiermuth. But Kenny never even intended to throw that ball that way. He's just using his eyes to manipulate them. Comes off it, looks back to George, and you look at that hit in real time real quick. And then that big boy's going to land on him with a full body weight. Not sure how that wasn't a roughing there, but you see right here, George is triangulated in between 5 different Browns defenders. The separage that Kenny created with his eyes by looking the safety off, by looking at Freiermuth long enough to keep that other linebacker focused in on him instead of gaining depth. This is a savvy veteran throw by a guy who's got a lot of football under his belt. He's got a lot of football IQ in that mind of his. And this is the kind of stuff we're going to need to see more from him if he's going to reclaim that starting job coming out in 2024.